All right, hey guys. Hope everybody's doing all right this afternoon. Good Wednesday practice for us, and we'll get back outside. Really focus honing in on the game plan versus FAU. We know they're a talented team. I think our guys are in the right mindset as we get closer and closer before we head out to Montgomery. But quite excited about the game and the opportunity that will be presented in front of us. And we got to keep pushing as we approach the end of the season.
Evan?
Hey, Ryan. So going down there, have you, I think Thomas told us yesterday, but just what exactly have you kind of told the team as far as, just not just the urgency, but just letting them know, hey, this is the last time this group will be together. So how much is that kind of motivating them at this point?
Yeah, we talked about it. I mean, it's this 2020 squad will never look the same from the coaching staff, from players, from every single person involved. And, I think some of these guys, that'll be the last time they ever put on a helmet in general, right? And for quite a few guys, last time they'll ever put on a Memphis helmet for sure. We talked about that before we played Houston Liberty Bowl, and we'll kind of talk about it as we continue to get closer and closer to kickoff, because I do think that's important. I do think that hopefully puts a sense of urgency in their mind. Like I said, I hope they don't need extra motivation, but for some of these guys to realize this may be the last time they ever play football.
How the first group played defense.
They do need to have a sense of urgency.
The first group, they really did good. They just couldn't, all our shots was in and out, just first game jitters. So when we came in, we just knew we had to just lock up and get easy buckets.
And final question from Danielle Lerner.
And the importance of going out there.
This question is for Damien as well. How did you think that all the new guys today, Musa and Landers, did, and how do you see them contributing?
What exactly is going to be the plan after the game? We're just going to go away from
Great.
Christmas and then
just like Coach Penny said, Musa had like 10 and 7.
Already with some of the guys.
That's his first game, so that's big.
So,
I don't know Chad's stats, but he played good on offense and defensive end.
Exception of one that are currently here, so I don't want to get misquoted.
Coach Hardaway, student athletes, thank you very much.
You didn't say that with me.
Appreciate it.
Yes, I made the attempt
to everyone who took part in the press conference. Thank you. Stats will be posted online.
About everything, right, from this season to the future. And some of them we said we'll have further discussions after the bowl, after Christmas, and allow things to settle and figure some stuff out. So I think that's part of the plan. Don't want to rush any decisions from our side or their side. Make sure that we're all on the same page with what's in the best interest of everybody involved. But I do believe in giving the guys off. They'll have about 3.5 weeks off. I'm going to give the coaching staff off the longest probably they've ever had, with no recruiting, with it being at least a dead period. We'll still recruit. We'll still do Zoom calls and all that stuff as a staff. But I think it's good for us to kind of decompress. I think more so this year than ever. We just kind of need to take a deep breath, catch our breaths, because it's been a heck of a year. And, recharge, but then the players will come back, I believe January 17th, Evan, and get them ready for, this semester. And then, before you know it, we will have protocols with COVID coming back as well that we've already put into place for workouts, and then, get ready to roll into the 2021 season. But yes, I have had discussions with quite a few players, and we'll see, if I do have some major information, I don't mind sharing with you guys when that does become available. But, obviously, privacy of our young men, as you guys have known, I've respected it all season.
Hey, Ron, I was just looking and watching some of FAU's defense, and I see their top 20 in every seemingly major defensive category. From what you've seen, what just kind of stands out about them, and how are you guys going to have to kind of try to attack them in a couple of days?
Yeah, the biggest thing, Steven, that sticks out on third down, they're one of the best defenses in the country. I mean, they're going to pressure you. We know they're going to bring points pressures. We have to be able to stand up. The offensive line has to do their job. The backs have to be great in protection. The quarterback has to have the understanding of where he may be hot or what he may have to do. So they're one of those teams that's going to try and light you up on third downs. And that's where they're really, really good. And then base downs, with them being a 3-4 defense, they bring pressures of different variety from both sides. They play different things, right? Sometimes they play man coverage and feel like they can beat you playing man to man. And other times they line up and play quarters coverage. So I think it's a veteran defense that is able to do some things. They have a young nose guard, but man, he is a massive player. And I think they do so much different variety of things that that you can see why offenses struggle, and they're pretty darn consistent. You look, from top to bottom, like I said, I don't see any glaring weakness on their defense. They're just a really, really consistent unit that lines up down in, down out, and plays really assignment sound. That's credit to their coaching staff and players.
How strong are they against the run? And I know this has been kind of an area you guys have been looking for constant improvement. How strong are they against the run, and what are some ways that maybe you guys can kind of get that run game back started where you want it to be?
Well, if you have any run game answers, I'll take them. I've heard a lot from a lot of people all over the country. Stephen, I think the biggest thing is I think they're really stout versus the run, because they'll play at 3 down, but then line up and press their Sam or Will backer. So it almost looks like a traditional, 5-2 defense. So they're designed to try to stop that run. And, the teams that have been able to hurt them, it's been the explosive run, because nobody is just sitting there and gotten 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards of carry, because, like I said, they're really consistent, really sound. It's the explosive run, right? I mean, I think they'd be a top 10 defense in the country if it weren't for a couple explosive runs from Southern Miss. Other than that, Southern Miss had some their quarterback running a little bit more than them, and that was kind of a little bit different thing that FAU hadn't seen. So, we're going to have to find some explosive runs somehow or another. I don't know if we deviate from what we do. I think, like I said, it's going to take all parties involved, right, from our game planning, make sure we got the proper game plan, to execution of the assignments, right? And it's not just the O-line. Again, I'm hard on the O-line as anybody in the country, but the tight ends have to do their jobs. The backs have to do their jobs. The wide receivers have to do their jobs as well. I mean, we saw a play the other day where, wide receiver responsible for safety, and he missed the safety. The safety makes the tackle for a 1-yard gain, and everyone's yelling at the darn O-line. I get it, because I've been in this shoot before, but it's going to take everybody doing their job. And so we're going to try to run the football for sure. Nice thing is we do feel like we have a capable passing attack that can get us out of holes if we need to.
Brian?
Hey, Coach, with the NCAA giving the free year to folks, if they choose to come back, do they count against the 85 or not?
That's a great question. So anybody that has exhausted their eligibility, so if they are a senior that has graduated or used their redshirt year, then they don't count towards the 85 if they're already on scholarship. So does that make sense? So if they're a walk-on and they want to come back in a big, exhausted eligibility, I can't put them on and say they don't count towards 85. It has to be a current scholarship player that has exhausted their eligibility. So that does not count towards the 85. But as you well know, Brian, it's going to be hard pressed just to even get to 85 with the number of people that are currently on our roster. Because if you're only allowed 25 initials, and it's pretty clear. Obviously, we use initial on some of the guys on our roster, right, from the Cameron Jacksons to the Peter Parrish of the world. There's a couple other guys that you guys probably are aware of that we were able to put on scholarship, and so that goes away from my 25 initial. And now all of a sudden you're saying, man, well, say if our roster is at 50 scholarship guys, and we're above that. I'm not saying we're at 50 scholarship guys right now, and you use 25 initials, then you got to find 10 others. And so it's hard pressed to even get to that 85. And that's one of the reasons I think even Coach Scott at South Florida has lobbied hard for doing something about this hard cap on the 25, especially this year. It's an issue Kansas ran into. I think 4 years ago when they came into spring, and there's no way they could ever get up to their 85 scholarships.
Terry?
What's up, Coach?
Hey, Terry, how are you?
Man, I know football encompasses 98.9% of your brain, man, but this holiday season, man, non-football related, what would you want for Christmas? Would you have anything you want?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think this season has been very trying on everybody. This year has been, and I mean this wholeheartedly, Terry. I do think it'll be good for me to just be able to spend time with my wife, be able to relax with her. It's one of those things, as you guys well know, it's well documented. She works her tail off too, and her and I don't necessarily. we both have very busy schedules, but we both love what we do, and I'm so proud of her and everything she does. So I'm looking forward. I told her Christmas Eve that maybe we'll just her and I relax and try to enjoy each other and start firing, maybe, I said I may be asleep by 8 o'clock, but just, I think just be able to enjoy time with her because it's been trying for her. There's some stories I'll share with you about how wonderful she's been in the community, some stuff she's done to help people during this pandemic. So, but yeah, Terry, that's all I want. And obviously, without sounding coach speak, peace, love, and happiness for the rest of the world. If I get to reel on that, Genie, but no, that's what I want, buddy. Thank you.
Evan?
So piggybacking off of what you said about scholarships, two things. One, has anyone been placed on scholarships since? Obviously, we know Calvin last year, and you know how the big announcement is, but has anyone been moved on to scholarship? And then finally, for me, any updates or last minutes on guys who will not be playing in the game or not be available, or Sean, for example?
Yeah, so with the scholarship thing, Evan, if I put them on scholarship, they actually can't start on scholarship to the first day of school of the 2021 season. So it's not like I can just say, okay, hey, I really like the way you're playing in October, and they go on scholarship that day. The NCAA doesn't allow it. So what we can do is we can submit paperwork for them to go on aid at that point. And so this summer I didn't, there wasn't anybody new. Other than, like I said, Peter Parrish is a scholarship player and Cameron Jackson is a scholarship player that started on scholarship when they got here. There is one individual, and, again, I don't think he's opened up about it yet, that will go on scholarship come January. So I think that's, again, I'm, similar to my predecessor, I think it's great and to honor those guys and recognize them, but we also like to keep things within the family as far as that goes. And again, if he comes out and talks about it, I'm happy to celebrate it. And then as far as the availability, I do believe we should have, hopefully all the bullets in the gun to be able to go. We are a little bit banged up, just like we are always later in the season. But I think we'll have our guys, and then knock on wood with COVID that we can keep progressing the right way.
So just to be clear, Sean, from what you said before, still day to day, still same on that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, still day to day.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. You all have a great day.